Music icon Mandoza has been selected as one of the 4 recipients of the Lifetime Achievement Award for this year's 29th South African Music Awards. Those are the SAMAs. The Nkalakatha singer broke into the music scene in the early 1990s as part of a group called Chiskop and has since released hit songs including Phunyuka Baphethe and Godoba. The recording industry of South Africa says Mandoza continues to inspire people long after his passing. Reflecting on his legacy today, let's bring in his wife, Mpho Tshabalala, who joins us now in our studios here in Randburg. So great to have you in our midst, as they say. Welcome to the AM Report.
Thank you very much for having me.
You know, you and I were speaking off air, and you, I think, rightly described this as some kind of bittersweet moment, right? Because you never really do get over the passing of a loved one in this way. But I suppose sweet because so many years later, here we are, people still paying tribute to this person who is said to have released the kind of work that changed the course of Kwaito in this country. Yeah. How would you describe how you're feeling now that he's said to be honored like this?
It's a bittersweet moment. The only thing that I wish is that he could touch that award. Just the touch, the feel. That's what I wish for. But you know what? God's timing. I trust in God's timing all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we just come from the Rugby World Cup as an example. Yeah. And you know what that meant for certain songs, including Nkalakatha. And still, anyway, you know, I think DJs who've run out of options when the crowd looks like they're tired. And
let's bring out that
let's bring out that one secret weapon. And I don't know what you reckon it is about his music that resonates with South Africans still, so many years later.
He was true to himself. When it came to music, he never moved with times to say, now this Gqom, let me go to Gqom. He stick to just music, inspiring people. And he never described himself as a Kwaito artist, funny enough. He just said he was a musician, just to inspire through his life around him, things that happened around him. That's what he did.
Yeah, and we saw this larger-than-life person who, I'm sure by the time he went on stage or came for interviews, was already prim, proper, done, polished.
Yeah.
You saw all of it.
No, yeah, definitely, definitely. So when it came to Mduduzi, he was very perfect when it comes to outfit, style, everything. You just, even I've never seen a man carry an extra outfit. I'm like, and it was like, no. You don't play with me when it comes to that.
Sure. But how was he at home? You know, when the cameras were off and the mic was off, the kind of father, the kind of husband he was?
A cartoon man.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, Popeye.
Well, Popeye, who was in tracksuit pants, who was scruffy, who was just a dad who plays with the kids. He was a cook, a left-hand cook that would mess up the kitchen. He was just a dad, he was a husband, he was just an ordinary man. Yeah. Because, you know, the street life and the home life, totally different.
You can imagine. Speaking about the street life, as I mentioned, the kind of music that he released for many people was seen as a kind of watershed moment in this country. And a big part of it was, until then, it almost felt like there wasn't anybody who spoke boldly about what it's like to be black and live like us, you know, in the streets and incorporate that into the music. And Mandoza did that very well. I wonder how important you reckon that is today, right? Having music that reflects us and that isn't apologetic about who we are.
It's very important, because I think we tend to shy away from las phuma khona. Hence he said, angikhohlwa la ngiphuma khona. Uzoyithola kanjani uhlele khona, and things like that, just to give you those things. When you listen to this song, and you say, truly, then you get up and say, let me do something about myself to inspire you. Hope, we need such things because, you know, music is a universal language. So we definitely need such music. I wish more artists can just follow in that. Yes, it's a but funny enough, music is jiva, but still there's a message behind that. So I wish more artists can just give us that message, just upliftment, their experiences in life.
And we need that now more than ever, right? Who are going through so much.
We're going through so much in life. Yeah, definitely. We need definitely that.
Sure.
And just telling our stories. It's all about telling your stories, your life experiences.
Right. Some people describe him as a unifier. And we know why, you know, because in Nkalakatha, guys, there are people who don't have any idea what he's singing about, but they also are part of that song. Yeah. But I mean, it was a moment, right? We were just like, what is it about the kind of work that he is doing that resonates not only with black people that he sings about and who can resonate with the meaning of the words, but like with white South Africans too, who would lose themselves over the music.
There's been Nkalakatha that's been written in Afrikaans, but no. They said, we still want the original. They resonate with the original. I don't know, there's something about this song. Someone once said to me, you know, Mandoza, I did
single-handedly.
Yeah, single-handedly, yeah.
How did he respond to that kind of feedback, though? You know, seeing people across the racial spectrum, quite frankly, be so open and so welcoming of his songs.
It made him happy because he just loved bringing even strangers to endlini, just to see people happy. He'll go back all the time. What inspired him was Ikasi. So from time to time, he'll go back just to spend time. Then he had to do corporate gigs. That's when he got used to spending time with a different race.
Right.
You know, and say, oh, okay. So Nabo and Tleki, man for stand. Yeah. So it made him very, very happy. But one thing about this song is that then the other hits that came after the song, they were like, no, we can hear the other hits, but we still want that. So when he was on stage, people wouldn't let him go on stage without performing that song.
Absolutely not. I'm sure people would riot if you ever lived without going down that route.
Definitely.
But, you know, there's been so much of an evolution of South African music since his passing. And I wonder what you reckon his take would be about where we are now. You know, few people would have guessed that so many different genres, for instance, would have come up, or amapiano, and where that's placed Kwaito, because I know you're also quite involved still in at least monitoring the heartbeat of music in this country. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I remember when Gom came out, and I said to him, babe, Uswile, I think now man. And he refused. He said, I'll just do what feels right for me when I'm in studio. I'm not going to specifically say I'm going to go to a specific genre, follow. He wasn't a follower, let me say that. He'll just be a trendsetter.
Yeah, absolutely. He spoke about how he was also true to his story. And in fact, recently we got an opportunity to learn more about that story through a biopic in his name. And you executive produced that production. How was it?
Whew. Imagine watching people act out your life.
Yeah.
That's
why I'm asking.
It was, but I'm one person. I'm able, when I'm working, I'm able to put emotions aside and just focus on work. So I had those moments, but there were other scenes where I just couldn't hold it. But lucky, the cast that I had was just amazing. A prayerful cast. So take moments and just pray, you know, to get strength. And the Spirit was there every day. Every day with us. It was just an amazing. At times I'm like, did that happen? Oh, wow. Was that us? Like, yeah. At times I'm like, yeah, that was us. Especially the wedding. Oh. Yeah. I love the scene here, the wedding.
Sure.
I'll do it all over again.
Oh, wow. You know, and Wiseman Ngube, who played Mtutuzi, you know, shame, he came out before it was released to say he felt like there was such weight on his shoulders to portray this icon. And as you mentioned, you were right there to witness, I'm sure, even the accuracy of some of the depictions.
Yeah.
How would you describe the kind of, I don't know, interactions you guys used to have on set? Because it's one thing to, I think, try to portray someone who existed far back in our history, right? We kind of sometimes fill in the gaps ourselves. But when there's somebody who was there, it's a completely different ballgame.
So it was a journey for us. How we started the journey with Wiseman and Lorraine. Lorraine, who acted out as Mpho.
Yeah.
We started by the graveside, just to acknowledge the spirit. Because both of them, they used our actual clothes.
Wow. Yeah. The clothes that you guys actually wore.
Yeah. The hoarder.
Sure.
Yeah. So we had to acknowledge the spirit and constantly be in prayer because I knew it would be heavy. This was just no ordinary guy. Mtutuzi was just one of those that lived. So Wiseman would also say at times, and we just have to pray. We just have to pray. I had my son Utumela also there because there's things that he knows about his father that I don't know, and he'll tell his men, "Hi, time So it was amazing. It was beautiful.
Yeah, and it's been so well received. Talking about the spirit that lives, I'm sure you're thinking a lot about his legacy now, you know,
Yes.
with this Lifetime Achievement Award, the biopic, and many other things that I'm sure come to you in the silence of your own company. If things went your way, how would you want his legacy to be described 10, 15, 50 years from now?
A legacy that gives hope to the hopeless. A legacy that gives hope to the hopeless and saying, it doesn't matter your background. Your background doesn't matter, but just have that willpower and keep our hope alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A legacy of hope. That's it.
Sure. And on that note, we'll leave it. Thank you so much indeed for coming through and speaking to us. Once again, if we can say, congratulations.
Thank you.
To you and the rest of the family. Condolences still. And yeah, what a way to keep his legacy going. Thanks so much for coming to speak to us. Mpho Tshabalala, Mduduzi's wife, I should say, respectfully, known to you and me, of course, as Mandoza, the original Nkalakatha, as it were.